Today's Thursday, June 29, 2023, and today I'm coming to you from Port, where I spent the day on the Nancy Ann for a mixed bag of fishing. Later in the broadcast, I'll fill you in on how we did.
The fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners.
The July Glossy magazine is out now. New Jersey, Delaware managing editor Jim Hutchinson has a wrap-up of the first annual Striper Quest Catch and Release tournament. I know it's not a game fish, but clamming is part of the summertime ritual that should not be overlooked. Check out my article. Do you like party boat fluking? Then check out Tom Melton's read on the subject. And for you offshore fans, Connor McCowan has a cool article on fishing south of Block Island for tuna and other pelagics. All this and more in the current Glossy issue. A good reason to be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine is that you're automatically entered into the Dreamboat contest and your chance to win a center console from Steigercraft powered by Yamaha. $30 gets you 12 Glossy issues and all the digital issues sent to your inbox. It's the best deal going out there. Now let's go to the 2023 Dreamboat Challenge update.
Now it's time for the Dreamboat update. It was all about the fluke and the Dreamboat Challenge this week, and we had two big ones hit the leaderboard. The first was a 10.72-pound Sandy Hook doormat landed by Steve Leinhart, which landed him in third place for the flatfish category. The second fluke made some bigger waves in the contest. Luke Citarelli from Remsenburg, New York, topped the category with this impressive 11.25-pounder, giving him enough juice to vault him into second place overall. The leaderboard now looks like this. Bobby Cifarelli has dropped into third place with 17 points. Luke Citarelli takes over second place with 18 points, and Eddie Terrabil remains in the top spot with 21 points. The Dreamboat Fishing Challenge is the Fisherman subscriber-only multi-species fishing competition with a chance to win a 21-foot Steigercraft center console powered by a Yamaha, along with many other great prizes. Visit thefisherman.com to subscribe and get all the details so you can be part of the action.
Now let's get into the upcoming events. The Surf Rats Bowl tournament started on June 1st and continues through July 3rd. And for the ultimate big game tournament, we have balloons for sharks competition, win prizes for cleaning up the ocean for the month of July. Raritan Bay Anglers Club is holding their fluke tournament on July 8th. Hampton Bay's fluke tournament is also on July 8th. Then on July 13th, Town of Islip holds their second free freshwater clinic. Only 25 spots are available, so act fast. July 15th is the Coram Fire Department Fluke Tournament. Also on the 15th is the 4th Annual Freeport Tuna Club Fluke Shootout. One more for the 15th is the Montauk Grand Slam Fishing Tournament. And lastly, on the 22nd is the Grandpa Savino Memorial Fluke Tournament. For all the details, visit thefisherman.com/events. Now let's go around the island with some recent notable catches. Starting in Montauk, Captain Savio from the Fish Hooker Charters sent in a shot of a 10-pound bonita he caught right off the point. He also reported decent striper fishing with unlimited bluefish as well. The Montauk Star has been experiencing some quality fluke fishing this last week, with several customers being able to get their limits on recent trips. The typical pool fish on their trips has been anywhere from 6 to 9 pounds. The Viking is also getting in some productive trips that are more of a mixed bag, consisting of sea bass, which has an open season now, porgies, and fluke. And the Ebb Tide out of Montauk is running their nighttime striper trips for catches of stripers in the 30 to 40 pound class with a mix of slots also. Their fluking trips around Block have been seeing a healthy dose of 3 to 4 pounders. Moving down island over in Captree, Al fished on the Gillen for a 6-pound, 9-ounce fluke that he weighed in at Captree Bait and Tackle earlier in the week. West of that, the Captain Dave is picking away at fluke out of Sheepshead Bay. Their trips are seeing a healthy mix of shorts with keepers in the mix also. Over on the North Shore, I got out over the weekend for the Sea Bass opener on East and then had a pick of keepers as well as shorts on the rock piles in about 40 feet of water using fish bites. I know some decent catches also came in from the middle grounds and on the South Shore reefs and wrecks. Montauk also saw some quality fishing on the rocky bottom south of the point with jumbo porgies mixed in as well. I also myself got out surf fishing early in the week and found a nice mix of fish from the teens to low 20s taking darters on the east end. Managed a few blues also. One thing I did notice was a large body of sand eels that moved into the area recently, which should trigger some better fluking hopefully as well. Now time for the trip out of Orient Point with the Nancy Ann. We started off the day doing some sea bass and porgy fishing. Got some keeper sea bass, a lot of nice sized porgies in the mix. After that, we headed over to the race and we did some 3-weighing for stripers and bluefish. Ton of bluefish in the mix. We actually had them on top at one point. We were diamond jigging for them, speed jigging, 3-weighing, a bunch of different methods, bucktailing as well. Pretty much it was every drop we had 3 or 4 rods all doubled over with the bluefish. For the stripers, it was a little tougher to get through the bluefish, but we did manage a few in the mix, a couple overs, a couple in the slot as well. Overall, great trip. Thank you, Captain Rich Spro Gamagatu Sea Falcon, for putting this one together. We look forward to it every year. Now let's get an angler's weather forecast with News 12 meteorologist Rich Von Ohlen.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Let's check that holiday weekend forecast and see what we got going on. You can always check your favorite apps, weather tools, and weather sites as we get closer to the holiday weekend. This is a general heads-up, general overview. On the upcoming 4th of July, big weekend. Water temps came up, 60s, a couple of 70s there, so it looks like we're starting to see more of a summer pattern here. We've had a lot of rain in spots. We've had a lot of wind, 2 to 4s, 4 to 8s. I think Saturday, Sunday is going to be a little lumpy and choppy in many spots. You know, maybe Saturday a little better than Sunday right now. A little south breeze, about 5 to 15, some gusts to 20 on Saturday, midday afternoon. Maybe fishable with some showers in the area. A little humid too, and then Sunday looks a little windier. South wind maybe 15 to 20. You know, it's fishable, it's manageable, it's a little bit choppy there. High tide Saturday, North Shore for the mid to late morning, South Shore early morning. 70s all weekend to near 80, but there will be some humidity. We'll check out the Guru, a little different look here, and we'll go all the way out holiday weekend. You can see there's a decent amount of wind here, both Saturday and Sunday. You know, again, late Saturday afternoon looks a little lumpy, some 15 to 20s here Sunday. General 3 to 4, 3 to 5 going into Sunday afternoon. Monday maybe a little better. And it looks like, if anything, the best bet for the weekend, 4-day weekend, would be the 4th of July for next Tuesday. So we'll see how things shake out here. I think at least a couple of decent days for the holiday weekend. Be safe as always. Catch them up. Have a good one. Matt, back to you.
From Sag Harbor, we have Will and Andy.
Thanks, Matt. To report this week out of Sag Harbor, summer's kicking along. Finally, sea bass is in season. That bite's picking up. We're really excited. Water's been getting warmer, though, so, of course, the fluke and the striped bass have moved a little further out into the ocean or further east towards Montauk, but still going strong, guys. And especially near Shinnecock and Montauk, the striped bass bite's been really strong. Bluefish mixed in, but if you can get to those stripers, it's really been incredible. And also the offshore bite with the tuna is picked up as well. Inshore bluefin a little bit weaker still, but offshore yellowfin, even some big eyes being caught. So get out there and we'll see you next week. Back to you, Matt.
From Shinnecock, let's check in with Mike Dean.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Having some fairly good fishing going on. This wind really hasn't cooperated, and it's kind of like the storm swell from the south coming up. So it's been a little tough to get out in the ocean, but there are some fish around in the inlet, some nice bass. Fluke bites continuing to improve both in the bay and out front for those couple of times people are able to get out there. Sea bass open now, a couple of nice ones coming up on Hampton Reef. Hampton Lady got on them, as well as got some ling off the reef as well. So, pretty steady fishing, just a little frustrating to not be able to really, get out there in the surf as much with the, with these waves and the swell and the wind, as well as kind of looking out for those bunker pods. But that'll be soon enough. So overall, fairly good fishing. It's kind of a tough weather pattern we've been in, but hopefully we'll be out of that soon. And hopefully see some of these big fish that are coming up in Montauk and a few to the west that and haven't seemed to made their way out to us yet. So keep an eye out for them. Let us know how you do, and I'll talk to you next week. Back to you, Matt.
From Northport, we have the Cow Harbor Bait and Tackle report.
In between these really tricky weather patterns. I mean, we're getting some days it's totally windy, followed by rain and wind, then huge sunshine. It's really interesting. But whenever that sunshine's been getting out, we're seeing a lot of people going out in the boats. I'm seeing a lot of people out fishing. Off the beach has been fantastic too. Families, surfcasters, morning, noon, and night. There's a lot of fishing going on because there's a lot of fish. Off the beach, down by the Shinnecock River, over by Cancell on the points. I'm seeing, in Crab Meadow too, for that matter. Any sandy areas where it seems like you got these nice sweeps, natural for forage, for fluke, that's where you're gonna find. Stick to your bucktails, do high-low rigs, stick some gulp. Some people use squid and meat, whatever works for you. Weak fish, I heard some weak fish are around. I haven't confirmed that yet. The bluefishing is really unbelievable this year. Again, we were like totally starved out of not having bluefish for the past several seasons here on the North Shore. And now they've showed up. They're actually beating up a lot of stuff. It's great to see them. I think it's bringing the bass in because there's a lot of smaller forage that's left behind by these marauders, and the bluefish are picking it up. You're going to find fluke right behind picking them up. I would be looking for a big spawn this year. It's going to be a lot of bluefish out there. You're going to look for a lot of snappers, I'll bet you, this season. And you know what? Love snappers, big fluke. So we're going to see probably, I would imagine, in July, big fluke that are outside are going to start coming into the bay. They're going to hang out in the bay as these bluefish, baby bluefish snappers, they begin to grow, and they look for all the spearing in the weeds on the docks. Shrimp, they're going to be hungry, and it's going to be thousands of them. That's what I think. Again, the weak fish, that would be nice to see. It's been a strong weak fish season. I hope to see it coming back again, and it's just wonderful out there. Remember those slots, that 28 to 31. I'm telling a lot of people about it. A lot of people still don't realize 28 inches to 31 inches, that's the only bass that you can keep. So, you really want to measure it. Don't eyeball it, and don't get yourself in trouble. Go out, have a great time. Keep creating those memories. Thank you for supporting our family business, both shops. We're working really hard to bring you a great atmosphere. Just put in the picnic area over in Halesite. Going to get some tables next so people can chill out, talk fishing, and enjoy life. Get a great view at the same time. Until next week, I bid you all peace and tight lines.
From the Fire Island area in Great South Bay, let's check in with Captain Lorenzetti.
Hey Matt, Fire Island fishing really got good. A hot fluke bite, a lot of fish moved in. So it's primarily fluke fishing right now, but also the bottom fishing picked up. A lot of blowfish, kingfish around. And so you got a mixed bag now. Get the family out there, put a clam chum bucket down on the bottom, a little piece of clam on the hook, and you're gonna have a great time. But the fluke fishing got excellent, anywhere from the inlet all the way back to Ocean Beach. So things look good. Ocean is tough. Ocean is up this weekend. Saturday looks shaky, but the rest of the week, next 5-6 days look beautiful. And it's gonna be a good weekend here, 4th of July. Enjoy the holiday, get out there, have a great time with your family, catch them up, and be safe.
Looks good. From Jones Beach Bait and Tackle and Captree Bait and Tackle Fuel, we have Brendan Rutigliano.
Thanks, Matt. This report's for both shops, with Jones really catching up to the action at Captree. We've been getting a mixed bag with everything. You can get fluke, bluefish, weak fish, bass, even bragals are coming up on the piers. And again, this is both shops now. I was at Jones on Sunday fishing, and we had like 3 bass, 3 blues, 45 dogfish just to keep it interesting. There was a couple of weak fish and stuff here and there from other anglers. Captree, same sort of thing. I had one guy who caught 40 fluke. They're mostly short, so don't go crazy with that. But it's just a great time to go fishing, so get out there. And a lot on bait. If you want to catch a lot of fish, you can catch on gulp, but the keeper size fish, go with bait. Thanks again, and back to you guys.
From his kayak out on the Long Island Sound, we have Nick Cancell.
Hey Matt, it's Nick from Audi Kayak Fishing. We're out here in the rain, as you can see. The weather hasn't been great this week, but as long as it ain't blowing, we're going. So the striper fishing's been really good. There's a lot of big striped bass in the Long Island Sound right now, which is where I am. Sea bass season started, a lot of shorts, kind of same thing with fluke right now. A lot of guys are just catching shorts. They're having trouble getting keepers, but you know, that's just how it goes, like early in the season, I guess. That could change any day. You know, there's no certainties in fishing, right? Bluefish bite's been really good. You know, you basically have to weed through them to get to the stripers at times. This week it's kind of tapered off. Last week they were just flooded in the back bays. You know, and they're probably still there. There's been a lot of gators around, but a lot of cocktails moving in as well. As far as porgy, come on man, you can always catch porgy. They're everywhere, and they're really big too. Been seeing a lot of jumbo porgy. Cut that short a bit, it was starting to pour. Yeah, the porgies, there's a lot of big porgy around, so you know, if you get skunked on bass, fluke, whatever, you can always fall back on porgies. And give sea robins a try. They're actually pretty good. That's all I got for you. You guys can follow me on YouTube at Audi. I'm also on Instagram at Audi Fishing. Thanks, Matt. Back to you.
With our flying freshwater report, we have Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters.
Hello, Matt. This has been a big week for River Bay Outfitters. First, on Saturday, we had Mark Sadati doing a casting clinic. What a terrific, he's a phenomenal caster. Good teacher. Everybody enjoyed it. Hopefully we're going to be doing it again later in the year. And then we did our Farmington trip. Fabulous. Everybody caught fish. Everybody had a good time. Not easy fishing, but you got to figure it out. And that's one of the things I really like about it. And you know what another good thing is? I got to fish with my son, which was really, and he's a good fisherman, and he caught fish. So we had a good time. That's the good news. The bad news, it poured on Monday night. Blew out. As you can see, this river is raging. We're not fishing today, but that's good because the good news is now all the streams have plenty of water in them. It's going to extend the season, which is also very good. Saltwater, blues. That's what I'm hearing. Everybody's out fishing for bluefish. There are stripers around. Fluke fishing on a fly is doing well. But it's the bluefish that are getting all the attention. So, until next week, tie lines, everybody.
Let's check in with Chris Landry.
Thanks, Matt. Well, congratulations to my man Phil Salvo of Salvo's Jigs, who won this year's FTA Gypsy tournament. He caught the biggest fluke and won $4,100 cash money with an over 8-pound fluke. And shout out to Joe Budweiser, who won $350 for the biggest sea robin. Danny D from Brooklyn Anglers was out there representing, and a bunch of the Brooklyn Anglers will be representing July 22nd, because backed by popular demand, there's going to be another FDA Gypsy tournament, July 22nd. You got to book right away because these things sell out right away. This is a high rollers trip. The prize is going to be $4,000 to $5,000 for the biggest fluke. So book now and hit up Salvo's Jigs so you can get a winning jig too. He won that fish on his own jigs. All right. And this Friday you can catch me at Wits End for Anglers Night. Anglers Night this Friday at Wits End. If you want to hang out, chill, eat some fish with the man himself, Wit, and a bunch of anglers. It's a lot of fun. So I'll see you this Friday at Wits End. Otherwise, be safe out there. Stay tight. Peace.
Let's check in with David Rogers. Dave.
Thank you, Matt. Fishing in the Western Sound remains to be great. Just like last week, there are bass and blues in our waters, just waiting to take some bait or bite a lure. Bluefish remain to be around in force, and they continue to dominate the bite during the daytime hours, making it tougher to get to the bass. But there are still big bass being found by underwater ledges, hanging out in ambush and bait. Peter Ranieri of Peter Ranieri II on YouTube was jigging some light tackle by one of these underwater ledges and managed to hook into a 39-inch striped bass. The bass was then tagged to help with striped bass research and released back into the depths. If you're an avid angler wanting to join in on the striped bass research, check out grayfishtag.org and get involved today. Fluking has been similar to last week, with some keepers being caught here and there. Lisa Bernat sent us a pic of a beautiful fluke she caught this past week while jigging a bucktail with a spearing tipped teaser. A buddy of mine also managed to catch a 4.7 pound fluke jigging a soft plastic off the bottom. Now, when it comes to porgies, the bite has been on fire this past week, with many jumbo porgies in the mix. Well, that's all I got for this week's report. And as always, guys, make sure to check out Funky Fishing on YouTube to get a more detailed look into what's biting around the island. Stay groovy, everyone, and back to you, Matt.
Captain Mike Sentry has the latest from Staten Island.
Heating up in our local waters. My friend went out today, Justin Campbell and his crew, got a nice 58-inch bluefin on top water. Conditions are there. I just got to go a little bit further out than normally this time of year. With that said, offshore bite has been absolutely insane with the yellowfin and mixed in bluefins. They're catching them a lot on the Sterling Y trackers and spreader bars, crazy 8s, the dredges. Just phenomenal products that they're putting the boys on some big fish. Striped bass still in the Raritan Bay, mostly at nighttime, live lining eels and bunker if you could find some bunker. What else? Fluking is off to a great start. Quite a bit of doormat has been landed by regular recreational anglers, and a few in the 28 to 29 inchers. That's about 8 to 9 pounds on a good day. That's pretty much it. Keep an eye on the weather, like always. This week is a little bit of a toss-up, so most importantly, always be safe with the weather, man. I mean, look at wind app, NOAA forecast before you venture out there offshore. Safety's number one. Well, with that said, guys, stay tuned for next week, and see you on the water. God bless.
If you would like to be a part of our weekly video fishing forecast, we are looking for social media savvy anglers for hyper-local reporting from the New York Metro and Long Island area, and especially from the beach. So if you're a captain, tackle shop, and just an avid angler, contact my producer at tcslibayrat@gmail.com. The Fisherman magazine has launched their apparel store. We have hats, sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts, all on sale now, and free shipping with orders over $100. It is the perfect gift for yourself or that fisherman that you may know. Visit thefisherman.com/shop or click on the card in the upper right. Do not forget, this video is available as a podcast on iTunes and Google Podcasts. Search for the Fisherman Magazine podcast and subscribe so you can listen to this broadcast and our other content. Remember to like our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and tap on the bell to be notified instantly when we post a new video on YouTube. And check out this video's description on YouTube for all the related links and index for specific reports. Please support our correspondents by visiting their websites and their social media pages. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you right here next week at thefisherman.com. Have a great 4th of July week and weekend.